big theme coming up with my clients at the moment is this ability to speak our truth, to speak up, to share what's on our hearts. A lot of what I'm hearing is there's a block, there's a barrier between being able to share what's on our hearts and act and standing up for ourselves and what we believe in, and actually then what happens. And so if we're afraid to speak our truth, if we're afraid to express freely, we're going to hold ourselves back. So we're going to potentially not set boundaries. We're going to become the people pleaser. We're going to be self-sacrificing so that we're not seen. Maybe so that we aren't rejected or we aren't judged for having an opinion that's different to somebody else. And a big reason that we're afraid to speak our truth is because we're afraid of the outcome, of what happens if I speak my truth. And this is a very subtle, unconscious thing. And what you might notice is instead of speaking your truth, you might not even know what your truth is that you want to share. But instead of speaking your truth, you do something else. You appease somebody, or you have a go-to reaction that is unconscious that you do to avoid expressing how you actually feel or think about something, what you actually believe, what's actually true in your heart. And so you might agree with somebody when you don't agree with them. You might change the subject. You might just, if the person is so, you might just cut them out of your life to kind of avoid the conflict, avoid what comes up. And then I'm going to give you some questions that you can look into to help you maybe see why you are afraid to speak your truth. But if we're not speaking our truth, we're not being the conscious creator of our reality. We are letting old conditionings control us, control how we act. But when we can free ourselves of this, we can begin to act with expanded awareness of who we are, of how reality works, of what we want, and how we're going to get that. So that's what this video is going to dive into. If you are afraid to speak your truth, if you're having issues, you might notice it through frustration, through kind of people triggering you, through not feeling like aligned. You might just notice something sticky. You might notice that you have this itch to share something, or people are particularly triggering you at the moment. I know I need to say something, but I don't know how to say it. I don't know what to say, what's going to happen if I say it. So some things that you can look into, some questions you can ask yourself when it comes to speaking your truth. Look at how you were treated when you shared an opinion or spoke your truth as a child, or in previous relationships, or at school, with parents. Kind of what stands out to you. And how did you feel in those situations? How did you feel when you spoke your truth? Then have a look at where you needed to express your truth but couldn't. And that might be recently. There may be a recent experience where you needed to express your truth. You wanted to express your truth, but you couldn't. Maybe you noticed the kind of fight, flight, freeze kick in, or something similar to that. Maybe you noticed the unconscious pattern that you generally do when you know you want to speak your truth, whether that's avoiding somebody or something similar. And then once you've done this and you've kind of gone to the bottom, like go down the rabbit hole. And then once you've kind of got there, have a think about, well, you can ask yourself, why am I so afraid to speak my truth? That's always a good one. And then what would be possible for me if I was able to speak my truth? What would open up for me if I was able to speak my truth? How would my life be different? And this shows you kind of what you're afraid of, but it also gives your mind the possibility of something new, so that you can start to wire towards that, and you can start to make conscious new decisions. And in making these conscious new decisions, taking new actions, you're able to rewire it, and you're able to start speaking your truth. And what some of my clients have shared is that they have noticed themselves speaking their truth, which they wouldn't have been able to do a few years ago, and there's been a positive outcome, and there has been the best outcome possible happened as a result of them speaking their truth, because they know their truth, because their truth is in the heart. They've shared what's on their heart. Our truth changes. And something to be careful of, is it your truth, or is it a truth that is laced with outdated beliefs, conditionings, beliefs that aren't even yours, things that have been put down from your family, received from family from generations past. An example of this could be you catch yourself speaking your truth, but then actually what you kind of go, hold on, no, that was my granddad. Or, like somebody might say, you might catch yourself saying, well, money doesn't grow on trees. And then you sort of catch yourself and go, hold on, that's not my voice. Whose voice is that? Always question whose voice it is. Just be very aware of why you don't speak your truth, what the fear is, and what's possible when you do speak your truth. And then to go a layer deeper, to speak and express your truth is to express yourself free from all of these conditionings I was just speaking about. These conditionings that will ultimately hold you back. And there are layers of them. This is why your truth will change, because as you're peeling back the layers, you're getting closer and closer to your true essence, your true nature, the one that is one with the all that is. And so your truth changes and you begin to express that truth. So suddenly it becomes less about speaking your truth and more about you are your truth. You're embodying your truth. So how do you embody your truth? Well, what you put out there, people recognize. First, we recognize energy before we recognize words. So in expressing our energy, our full truth, we're going to start to attract things that are more in alignment with our truth and more in alignment with who we are beyond the conditionings. And being able to speak your truth beyond the conditionings as well is going to help you set boundaries. It's going to help you chase these opportunities that are going to come into your life fearlessly. Say yes, say no. Really, it's probably one of the biggest contributing factors to being the conscious creator of your reality is knowing your truth, speaking your truth, embodying your truth, and expressing it through energy. And this is where the shadow work, the energy work all comes into play, because you're slowly peeling away the layers. You're becoming more and more of you, not more of the conditioned you, more of the opinionated you, but more of you in your heart, in your truest essence. And that, I believe, is one of the biggest gifts that we can give to this world, is to show up in our truth, in our true energy, because that has an unconscious effect, like a popcorn effect, because it invites other people to do the same. People will raise their energy to match yours unconsciously. You don't even need to do anything. Like I was reading this morning, I'm reading a book about non-duality, and I think it's called After the Ecstasy, the Laundry. I'm reading it to help my clients with integration, but it mentions a story, like stories of people who have realized the self, and they come into into the presence of an awakened master. The awakened master just has to look at them or ask them a question, and suddenly their energy resonates with the awakened master, and they realize the self through resonance. And this is a lot of what energy work does, like Kundalini activation, non-dual transmissions, but also you can get there through self-inquiry and shadow work, because you're kind of peeling away the layers of who you thought you were. And in doing this, you're able to then express. So you're peeling away the layers and then you're able to express. So it's a really, it's a deep process. It's a magical process, but ultimately it's going to help you become the conscious creator of your reality and help you ask for what you want, ask the universe for what you want, because you're in alignment with your truth, it's going to come way more easily. You'll be able to express in your full abundant self that mirrors the abundance of the universe, the energetic giving and receiving, constantly in overflow and in love. You will be living in your heart. You will be expressing from your heart, and you're going to attract people from that place who are on a similar path, who are living that way too. This work is magical, it's profound, and ultimately it's going to help you live an incredible, incredible life and help so many others. So think about how you speak in your truth, where you don't, why do you need to speak your truth, and how that might help the world as a greater whole. The world needs you to speak your truth. So do the work. start speaking your truth, take the action. I would love to know what empowers you to speak your truth. Maybe where you don't speak your truth. If you need any help, you can reach out to me. And if you want to go a little bit deeper into this work, I have opened the doors for my private coaching container, Essence. You can sign up or reach out to me in the link below, and we can have a chat about whether it is right for you. If you'd just like to explore shadow work, the incredible shadow work bundle is also linked in the description below, so you can have a look at that. It takes you through your like immediate shadows, your dreams, all of these incredible things to help you find out what's been holding you back from expressing who you are in truth.